Okay, we have here a set of the Dirty Weekend 6s from Zoo Audio. This is a speaker I've been watching for quite a few years. The previous iteration of this was the Omen Dirty Weekend, and I think they discontinued it this last spring of 2022. I might be wrong on the date on that. And they then did come out with in September of this year, September 2022, the Dirty Weekend 6, which is this speaker here in the box, which we're going to unbox today. I've looked at Zoo Audio speakers for quite a while. This is actually the first set of new speakers I've owned. As you can see from the Klipsch and some of the other hardware over there, I'm definitely interested in vintage hi-fi gear. I like the golden era aesthetic, attention to design and engineering, quality materials, etc. So this is definitely branching out for me to go with a new speaker, but Zoo Audio, made in America, artisan grade cabinets, their looks, their design philosophy, the company, to me, definitely says golden era hi-fi in the modern age. So that's what's interested me in these guys. The other thing I'm interested in their speakers is their design. There's a no crossover network for the driver, which I'm really interested to hear and see in person. I'm into vintage integrated amplifiers, Sansui primarily right now. I really like the Sansui sound, and I'm really curious to hear the Sansui gear through these speakers, which sounds like from their description of the design engineering philosophy, does not insert any electronics between the amplifier and the driver. So I'm hoping to hear a more pure and accurate representation of what my amplifiers are producing. As you can see, the Klipsch are what I've listened to previously, which I really like, have no complaints about them. Super efficient, 99 dB sensitivity. The Zoo Audio 95, so pretty close. That sensitivity is also what I'm attracted to with these speakers. The integrated amplifiers I like to use are pretty low power. I like the best part is no part philosophy, and the simpler circuits in the older integrated amplifiers on the lower power end produce a really clean sound. The higher end amplifiers certainly, but as someone with a lot more experience than me said, it's just harder, more complicated, more expensive to build a larger, more complex integrated amplifier, or separates for that matter. So again, I like the minimalist design in the amplifiers I use, and I think these Zoo Audio speakers will work really well with that. Sounds like these are super popular with low wattage tube amplifiers, which I don't own any, and I currently don't really have any plans to. I like the solid state stuff from the 70s, kind of that just post tube era solid state gear from, like I said, the golden era of hi-fi. So today's video, we're just going to unbox these, take a look at them. I haven't opened them, so I'm super excited, and I wanted to save that for this video, and hopefully those of you watching will benefit from this as well. I know I've watched a ton of YouTube videos just trying to educate myself on equipment that's out there before I bought it, or I was just curious about. So this video is unboxing the Zoo Audio Dirty Weekend 6, and we'll get to it. I was worried about this. I haven't looked in here yet, but the corner was damaged, and I wasn't home when the UPS driver dropped these off. I'm hoping there's no damage to the cabinet or speaker. Find out here in a few. looks like this is the bottom, so maybe we're going to the sides. Oh, nice. There's easily 3 inches between that corner and the cabinet, so there's no damage. Oh, wow. That is a nice speaker. Okay, so let's see if I can do my best to do this. These are heavy, apparently. Okay, so first thing here, I'm going to tip this up, maybe. I'm actually going to lift the box, lift the speaker straight out of the box. Very well packed. Wrapped. We have some goodies here in the front. What do we have here? Nice. So, Zoo Audio buttons. A couple of coasters. Great cleaning cloth, microfiber. And some speaker specs. And that gorgeous speaker. Trying to find an end if I can. I'm not having any luck. Carefully remove this. Boy, that is a beautiful speaker. So, really high quality cabinet construction with the attention to detail. So this is the hard part, are these veneer corners, and boy, they are perfect. No flaws at all. So I went with the walnut cabinets. They come in black at the basic version. This is the standard electronics, no upgrades, and walnut cabinets. I like all of their cabinet colors and finishes. The hickory looks great. Blue is really cool. A little bit too bold, I think, for what I want to do. But that walnut looks fantastic. So we have a speaker cover here, which looks like a drum head. Pull that off. Wow, look at that. That is cool. Okay. Remove to groove That is a gorgeous driver. So it's a two-way speaker, full range driver. I don't remember the cutoff point as far as the frequency goes, and then the tweeters pick up the high. Or the tweeter picks up the highs. This has what I believe is called I think it's a whizzer cone. So it's able to, I guess, transmit more frequencies than just a standard large driver. Yeah, that looks awesome. Okay, around the back. Turn this around. So I went the standard, which has standard binding post connections, which will work fine for me. Zoo Audio does offer some sort of internal wiring upgrade with their own speaker cable harness. I didn't opt for that right now. I went with the basic package, like I said, and I can upgrade anything I want later. So it seems like that's a smart way to go for me and my budget. I also like to upgrade my equipment over time too. I think I appreciate the advances more if I start at a kind of entry level or moderate baseline. And or what I've discovered with a lot of my equipment is my expectations have been extremely exceeded based on some of the amplifiers I own and their power ratings. They've just turned out to be fantastic. So I expect I'll have a similar experience here. So this speaker has a port on the bottom, and I guess compared to the previous version of the Dirty Weekend, that this design allows for easier setup. I think the original Dirty Weekend was maybe a little more finicky about setup. I might be wrong, don't quote me on this, but I think the port was in the bottom of the speaker, so you had to get the correct height off of the floor with feet. I'm super glad I don't have to deal with that. Setup is kind of fun, but it's also nice to know that I have a set of speakers that will probably work in most any condition I apply them to without having to be too finicky about the setup. This room I have applied some wall treatments to and setup and layout to help with the sound in here, and I did all that early on. I was actually advised early on from someone who has a lot more experience than me with this stuff that room setup is probably the first and most important step in any stereo system. So I focused on that initially with my hi-fi evolution. So definitely like my clips. They're not going anywhere, but I'm definitely looking forward to hearing these Zoo Audio Dirty Weekend 6s. And I think what we'll do is save that for video number 2. So I'll get the other one unboxed right here, get them set up, and in the next video I make, we'll do a sound check, and you can hear it there in the video, and maybe even compare to the clips too, which is, I think, going to be valuable for potential buyers as well as myself to understand the differences. Dirty Weekend 6.